Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we'll discuss a very typical thing, that is, it is about the experimental evidences of DNA as genetic material. Priorly, it was not confirmed that DNA is the genetic material and it carries the genetic information. The scientists were in a confusion whether the DNA or RNA or protein, which one acts as the genetic material and carries the genetic information. So many more different types of experiments have been conducted by different types of scientists. Okay, and today we'll discuss about two different types of experiments. One is transformation experiment and another is transduction experiment. Okay, in transformation, what is exactly transformation? Transformation is the process of transfer of any naked genetic material DNA from the solution where the bacteria is present into the bacterial cells. Means bacterial cells, they are able to intake the genetic material from the solution into their cell. This is transformation. And what is transduction? Transduction is transfer of genetic material through viruses into bacteria. Okay, so by using these two methods, many scientists, they have conducted many experiments, and we'll discuss about two different types of experiments. And from this experiment, it has been proved that DNA is the genetic material, not the RNA, not the protein. Okay, let's have a look. See, two experiments we'll discuss here. First one is Griffiths and Avery's transformation experiment, and second is Hershey and Chase transduction experiment. Okay, so first one, transformation experiment, first we'll discuss. See here what happens. First, Frederick Griffith in 1928, he has conducted the experiment by taking the pneumococcus bacteria and mice. What is pneumococcus? Pneumococcus bacteria, it is also known as Diplococcus pneumoniae, and this bacteria is causing pneumonia in the normal mice. Okay, so by taking these bacteria, he had conducted the experiment to prove that DNA is a genetic material. How he proved? See what happened. This pneumococcus bacteria or Diplococcus pneumoniae, it is having two strains. Two strains of these bacteria are there. One is the rough strain, which appears rough, means the capsule appears rough, and this rough strain is non-pathogenic, means it is not causing the disease pneumonia. Whereas the smooth strain, S strain, the S strain appears very smooth, but it is pathogenic, it is causing the disease pneumonia. So how Griffith had conducted the experiment? See here, first in the experiment 1, he had taken the live R strain. Just I have told you that R strain, rough strains are non-pathogenic. He had taken the live R strain and injected this R strain into mice. Then mice lived. Means there was no pneumonia. The mice was not suffering from pneumonia when he was injected. When the mice was injected with live R strain. Live R strain. All these strain are live, but they are non-pathogenic. Okay. In the second experiment, he injected the live S strain into mouse. Live S strain means these are live and these are S strains, smooth strains, and smooth strains are causing the disease pneumonia. So live S strain were injected into mice and mice died. Okay. Then in the experiment 3, what he had done, he had just heat killed the S strain. The S strain which was pathogenic, it was heat killed. Okay. The heat killed S strain solution was injected into mice, and the mice lived. There was no pneumonia. The S strain live were causing pneumonia, and mice, it was died. But here see in the third experiment, he just injected the heat killed S strain solution. S strain, smooth strain of pneumococcus Diplococcus pneumoniae is there, but they are heat killed. Means these bacteria, they were heat killed, and they are injected into the mice, and mice lived. There was no pneumonia. Then in the fourth experiment, what he had done, he had mixed the cultures. He had mixed the live R strain. Live R strain is non-pathogenic, plus with the heat killed S strain. Heat killed S strain is also not containing any live S strains. It is containing the heat killed S strain bacteria. Means this solution, it is also not killing the mice. Live R is not killing the mice. Heat killed S strain, it is also not killing the mice. These solutions. So he had mixed these two solutions, live R strain plus heat killed S strain. He had mixed this combination and he injected into mice. But he found that mice died out of pneumonia. So he was in a very confusion how these two solutions when got mixed, then the mice died out of pneumonia. He had taken the blood samples of dead mice and found out that instead of live R strains, live S strains, smooth strains of pneumococcus were there in the blood samples of dead mice. and he was confused how the live R strains, they have been changed into live S strains and causing the disease pneumonia and killed the mice. Later on, this experiment was also conducted by 3 more scientists to prove that DNA is the genetic material. Griffith was unable to prove. Okay, and later on, see, biochemical analysis of this experiment was conducted by Avery, McCarthy and MacLeod in 1944. In 1944, all these experiments were again revised. And these 3 scientists, they have analyzed this experiment. They have done the molecular analysis and biochemical analysis and proved that DNA is the genetic material. What they have done? In the experiment 4, what Griffith had conducted, live R means non-pathogenic R plus heat-killed S. It is also non-pathogenic. These 2 solutions he had mixed and injected to mice, and mice died out of pneumonia. This experiment was also conducted by these 3 scientists, but they proved that DNA is the genetic material. Why? Means how they have proved? When they just mix the heat-killed S strain solution with 3 different types of enzymes. These 3 scientists, they have used proteinase, RNase and DNase enzymes in a sequence, one after another. They have added these enzymes one after another with the heat-kill S strain solution. First, they have added proteinase solution. See, when the S strain solution, it is heat killed, means it is heated, then all these bacteria, they must have died, and the bacterial constituency, means the bacterial protoplasm, it must be coming out into the solution because of the destruction of the cell wall. Okay, and in the solution of these dead heat killed S strains, there must be protein, there must be DNA, there must be RNA of the bacteria, heat killed bacteria. And out of these 3, which one actually acts as the genetic material and changes the live R strain, they have found out. First, they have mixed the proteinase enzyme with this heat-killed S solution, and then this solution is mixed with live R strain and injected to mice. Mice suffered from pneumonia and died. Secondly, they used RNase enzyme, means RNA degrading enzyme, in the solution of heat-killed S strains, and then this mixture, it is mixed with the live R strain and injected to mice, and mice also died suffering from pneumonia. Then third, they have used the DNase enzyme. DNase enzyme will destroy the DNA present in the solution of heat-killed S strains, and then this solution was mixed with the live R strain, non-pathogenic R strain, and injected to mice. Then mice survived and there was no pneumonia. So these 3 scientists, they have concluded from the biochemical analysis that by using these 3 different types of enzymes, only due to the use of DNase, when this DNase enzyme was applied into the solution of heat-killed S strain, then only the DNA was degraded, and DNA was the only material which was intaken by the live R strain. Okay, live R strain, and this heat-killed S strain DNA, when it was intaken by transformation into the live R strain, these live R strain bacteria were changed into live S strain and they were causing the disease pneumonia. So from this experiment, these 3 scientists, they have concluded that instead of RNA and protein, DNA is the genetic material, because prior also protein and RNA, it was intaken or not, but DNA, when it was intaken into the live R strain, then the live R strain has changed into live S strain and causing the disease pneumonia and killing the mice. Okay, so from these experiments, from this biochemical analysis, they have proved that DNA is the genetic material. Okay, so this is all about the transformation experiment of Griffith, and it was along with the biochemical analysis of Avery, McCarthy and MacLeod. Okay, this is one of the experiments. Then come to the second one, Hershey-Chase transduction experiment. Hershey-Chase transduction experiment, just I have told you that what is transduction. Transduction is the process of transfer of genetic material or DNA through viruses into bacteria. The bacteria can be infected by the viruses, and viruses can merge their own DNA with the bacterial cell, bacterial genome. Okay, so the bacteria is infected by the transduction experiment. So here, see, transduction experiment, it was carried out by A.D. Hershey and Martha Chase in 1952. In this experiment, these 2 scientists, they have used E. coli, Escherichia coli bacteria along with bacteriophage viruses. Okay, bacteriophages are special viruses. They only infect the bacteria. The host is bacteria. Okay, so see what they have done. Hershey and Chase, first, they have grown E. coli solution, E. coli medium. They have taken 2 different types of mediums. for growth of E. coli bacteria. In one medium, they have used the radio-labeled sulfur, that is S35. And in another medium, they have used the radio-labeled phosphorus, that is P32. Okay. And when these E. coli, they were grown in these cultures, they must be intaking the material from the solution, from the growth plate. And these E. coli, they must be utilizing the S35 from the medium. These E. coli, they must be utilizing the P32, phosphorus 32 from the medium. Okay. Later on, they have infected these E. coli solutions with viruses, with bacteriophages. See, these are the bacteriophages infecting the bacteria I have shown here, and this is the culture medium in which the E. coli were cultured, supplying with here S35 and there P32. Okay. So bacteriophages, their host is bacteria. They have to incorporate themselves into the bacterial cells during infection, and inside the bacteria only they will grow, these viruses. And these viruses, they will also multiply inside the bacteria. They will increase their number, and for multiplication, for production of new variants, new virus particles, they must be utilizing the host machinery, host products. Host products means host is here the bacteria, E. coli. Here this bacteria, it is having sulfur, radio-labeled sulfur, and here this bacteria, it is having phosphorus, that is radio-labeled phosphorus. And sulfur is utilized for making of the protein coat of viruses. Viruses or bacteriophages, they are having only two things in their construction. That is, one is the protein coat, the capsid, and another is the genetic material, that is DNA. Okay. And for protein coat making, they must be utilizing the sulfur, S35, radio-labeled sulfur from the bacterial cells. And here, for the DNA multiplication inside the bacterial cells, they must be utilizing this P32, that is radio-labeled DNA. Okay. So in these bacterial solutions, the viruses, they have grown, and these viruses, they have intaken the S35 here and P32 there for their multiplication. Then after these two types of solutions, they have been extracted the bacteriophages. Bacteriophages are extracted. From these solutions, bacteriophages were extracted, and these bacteriophages are of two different types. There must be protein coat here radio-labeled, S35, as sulfur containing amino acids are used for the protein construction. So protein coat of these bacteriophages must be having the radio-labeled protein, the radio-labeled sulfur, that is S35 in the first case. And in the second case, these bacteriophages, they have utilized the radio-labeled phosphorus for the making of the DNA, for the multiplication of the DNA. So here the protein coat of the bacteriophage is radio-labeled, and there the DNA of the bacteriophage is radio-labeled. Okay. And then these bacteriophages were again infected into normal E. coli cells. These are normal E. coli cells. There is no radio labeling here. Okay. So when these radio labeled bacteriophages are infecting the new normal E. coli solution, what happened? See here the bacteriophages having radio labeled protein coat, they have infected the E. coli. Here the bacteriophages having the radio labeled DNA, they have infected the E. coli. Okay. And when these solutions, they have been infected by these two types of bacteriophages, and this solution, it is centrifuged. In the next step, there is centrifugation of E. coli solution. Centrifugation, by centrifugation technique, what will happen? The culture of E. coli, it will settle down. The E. coli cells, they will form a pellet. They will settle down due to heavy centrifugation, and there will be supernatant, the growth medium. Okay. So what happens exactly what is there inside the bacteriophage? Only two things are there, the protein coat and the DNA. Here the protein coat is radio labeled, there the DNA is radio labeled, and it was to analyze whether the DNA or the protein coat, which one is actually infecting, means which one is transferred by the bacteriophage into the bacteria. That was the conclusion. Okay. So to find out that one only, these two scientists, they have centrifuged the solution now. Okay. And after centrifugation, what happens? See here E. coli, in the E. coli solution, after centrifugation, pellet is there, and this is the supernatant. They found out that, the scientists, they have found out that there is radioactivity or radio-labeled supernatant. The supernatant of the solution, it is radio-labeled with viral protein coat, because viruses protein coat, it was having the S35, sulfur 35, and it was there in the solution, in the supernatant, and the supernatant is here radio-labeled. But here in this case, the bacterial pellet is radio-labeled. Bacterial pellet is radio-labeled means, in this case, which one is radio-labeled? The DNA. So DNA is incorporated in both of the cases. Here the DNA is not radiolabeled, but there the DNA is radiolabeled. So DNA is there in the pellet of bacteria, means in the bacterial cells. Pellet is formed by the settle down of the bacterial cells. So this pellet, it is showing the radiolabeled or radioactivity. So radiolabeled bacterial pellet, it is observed with viral DNA P32. Okay. So from this experiment, what has been concluded, that in both of the cases the protein coat remains in the supernatant. Here also, there also. Yes, in this case the protein coat is radiolabeled, so the supernatant is showing radioactivity. And here in this case the pellet, means the DNA, it is incorporated into the bacterial cells, and the bacterial pellet, it is showing radioactivity, that is radiolabeled bacterial pellet is observed. Okay, so both in cases the bacteriophage, it has injected the DNA into the bacteria, not the protein coat. The protein coat in both of the cases remains in the supernatant. Here the supernatant showing radiolabeling, and there the pellet showing radiolabeling. Okay. So from this experiment, it has been proved that instead of protein, DNA is the genetic material which is incorporated, which is injected into the bacterial cells by the viruses or bacteriophages during their infection. Okay, and they can change the genetic material of the bacteria after the infection by transduction. Okay, so from these two experiments, it is very clear that DNA is the genetic material, and it was proved by these two type of experiment, that is transformation and transduction. Thank you for watching. Share and subscribe my channel for upcoming videos. Thank you.